the Respond work with Scott's Lawn Service. And basically, if someone were to say, Scott's Lawn Service was just here, they sprayed my lawn and my cat died. I think, something happened. That, first of all, is as a regulated entity, and that didn't happen. But, as an example, that'd be an example where someone might tweet that, but they might not ever pick up the phone. That could be retweeted 100 times, and by the time Scott's found out about it, they could have lost a lot of customers, or they could respond to it immediately, say none of the chemicals used in our treatment could possibly be connected, our condolences, whatever, but respond to that and have some interaction with that customer. On the Enlist side, another good local example, we work with the Hocking Hills Tourism Bureau. And one of the things we're doing now is we're saying every time you go and you stay at a cabin at Hocking Hills, every 10th or 12th person gets a flip cam, and they videotape their weekend in Hocking Hills, and those are uploaded to the Hocking Hills Tourism site. And suddenly, now you're producing dozens and dozens of videos every weekend that you as an organization could have never produced on your own. And influence, I think there's an example that Brad in the back has heard before about the bird poop facial, but it's this is not a local example. I saw a couple other heads nod, so I think a few people probably heard me talk this one a lot. But this is it's a business that is one owner, small business based in New York, a beauty spa. And to make a long story short, what happened is, she told me that one of the secret ingredients in her best-selling product, her Geisha facial, was sterilized nightingale droppings. And I said, bird poop? And she said, no, sterilized nightingale droppings. You can't call it bird poop. This is a recipe that had literally been handed down from, she was a first-generation American, handed down for generations from her family, this recipe, this facial. We actually, labeled it the bird poop facial, made kind of a funny viral video. She's been on Jay Leno, she's been on Today Show, she's been on Black Entertainment Television, she's been on the Countdown to the Grammys. If you go and Google the word bird poop facial, you will see 250,000 media pickups from newspaper, television, and now you couldn't. This was almost 2 years ago we ran this campaign, and if you wanted to get one today, you probably couldn't because there's a 2 weeks waiting list, and celebrities and movie stars are now going to her for this treatment. And this was, she developed this campaign for what it would have cost her to run one ad in a beauty magazine. So 4 real stories from, I guess, from Kent's examples. All right, so we'll dig into kind of 3 networks here. The first one, Twitter, which we've already showed you some examples. I mentioned already, one of the reasons why people are adopting Twitter so quickly is you walk into a store, it says, follow us on Twitter. You get the newspaper from your city council, it says, follow our proceedings on Twitter. You're watching a television show, it's like, find out the spoiler on Twitter. The election, the presidential election was called by a CNN intern on Twitter, 10 minutes before it was called on CNN, the television station. So news is breaking there. The earthquake in Chile, the oil spill in the Gulf. When someone's physically sitting on the ship that's catching on fire or sitting in the house as the earthquake's happening, news is breaking. So it's kind of forced the adoption. The Pope uses Twitter. The Queen uses Twitter. Barack Obama uses Twitter. And the purchasing manager at Procter & Gamble does. One of the great things is using the advanced search functions on Twitter, and there's a site you might want to write down also called Twello, which is like the yellow pages for Twitter. You can go there and you can say, I want to reach CEOs of mid-sized companies in the Midwest. And you can type in those keywords, CEO, Chicago, and corporation, and you will get a list of all those people because they voluntarily provide it. And I would argue it's better than a mailing list because people move and their email addresses change, but their Twitter account is theirs from the day they set it up till the day they die. That never changes. It's Twello, Twellow. Just think of yellow pages for Twitter. So you can identify who your market is, and rather than, we all have the case where you're trying to reach through the gatekeeper, you're trying to reach that person who's your main contact. This helps you contact and have a relationship with that person directly. Some of the things, and this actually goes into a lot of the things Kent said about listening. Look at this, listening and influence. We got right off the bat here, 2 or 3. So, but one thing that's not on here and that wasn't on Kent's list is marketing and selling. You're not out there, unless you're a retail establishment and you're promoting coupons, then that's great to push out on Twitter. If you're a restaurant and you're having, we're just with a local pizza chain, but basically it's Tuesday at 2 o'clock and it's slow and they say the next 25 people can get a $5 large pepperoni pizza because they just want to fill up the store. Twitter's great for that. Or we're having happy hour on the patio, we just tap the Great Lakes Summer Ale, so come out. Things like that, it's great to sell. But in general, especially, how many people sell more business to business side? Okay. All right. For the business-to-business side, you can't sell. The idea is to establish Kent or Bill or Marcy as the thought leader in your industry and someone who provides a lot of good information that other people want to read about. And when the time comes to reach a leadership consultant, they're thinking of you first. For those of you that don't have Twitter, and we can make this presentation available, it's very easy to set up. You fill out some basic information about yourself, your zip code, and those keywords you want to use. This is the advanced search field, though, and this is where I said if you want to say, I want to reach people that are tweeting about workplace safety within 50 miles of a Chicago zip code, you can put that in and you can identify exactly who those people are. I can promise you a search like that, there's probably a tweet that goes out about every 15 minutes. I mean, just the sheer volume. When you think of 100 million people, there's going to be a lot of safety managers in Chicago tweeting all the time. One of the great things you'll see, you'll do a sales pitch and you'll go and you'll follow that your person you just pitched to, and they'll be talking about your presentation. Or they'll talk about a competitor's, or they'll be talking about, I got 2 pitches today, the pricing on one looks a lot better, but man, the features on the other package look good to me, and you know that's the pitch you just got out of. The great thing is, you know, a lot of times the execs will say that. The intern who was sitting in the room can give you a lot better insight. You know, they can tell you, I think this is who's in the lead, I think that's who's in the lead. If you follow your competitors, you can find out things about layoffs or new product features. Again, it's not the CEO that's going to release this. It's going to be the summer intern who said, oh my gosh, all the doors are closed. I think there's going to be layoffs today. And that really happens. All right. We'll talk about Facebook a little bit here, and then I know Ken's got some good examples here. But a quick, you know, valuation on Facebook. So obviously a lot of us started and ran our own business here, and just thinking about valuation. A couple years ago, Microsoft paid $240 million for about a 1.5% ownership in Facebook, which if you do the math, makes Facebook worth about $15 billion. The last time Facebook reported their revenues, anyone want to guess what it was? Their annual revenues for 1 year. Most of us probably beat them. They think it's estimated to be somewhere between $200,000 and $300,000. Now, since then, they've added a lot more advertising features, and there's other ways of generating revenue, but we all have Facebook accounts, but I bet most of you have never paid Facebook anything. As they're ramping up their advertising, there's more revenue coming in, but when you compare the fact that it's a $15 billion company, it's probably doing a few $100,000 in revenue, and Microsoft's not stupid. You know, that probably tells us that there's a lot of value here. The second most visited site on the internet, last time I gave this presentation, which again was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, was the 5th. So it continues to grow in popularity that fast. 400 million active users. The average user is connected to 60 different pages, groups, or events. And there's 25 billion pieces of content shared on a monthly basis. One of the great things, again, about Facebook is I can say, if I want to run a Facebook ad for my business, I can say I only want to reach working moms who live in the Seattle area, who probably have an income about this much, and who talk about eating healthy meals. Because all the things people post to Facebook every day can build a really, really good profile on individuals and on those consumers. So it's a great way to reach a highly, highly targeted market.
Now, I'm not somebody who's paying Facebook to run an ad for me. But Mark and Bill are here today. Why? Because Mark is one of my Facebook friends and saw where I posted on Facebook about the branding event here today, right? That's a real keen example of how you can use that. And it's not because I decided I'm going to use Facebook and build my business, but there's a little different dynamic than trying to do business to business. This is reaching out to a friend. Hey, we might have something business-wise that aligns. I didn't say that very well, did I? What I was trying to say is I use Facebook for friendly interactions and exchange of content, but I want my friends to watch We Decorate Columbus on Friday. I'm going to share that with them on Facebook. Who has more than like 200